All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the ultimate abilities worst to best. So it's going to be 1 through 4 for every single ultimate ability. Let me know down in the comments what else you want to see on the Spoochie channel. But with that being said, enjoy the compilation. Today, we're going to be going through every character's ultimate activation worst to best. And the factors that we're going to be using to determine this are the ultimate activation speed, how much damage it does, and whether or not it stuns the player. So with that being said, we're going to have to get into our worst ultimate activation ability, which I'm going to say is Saitama's ultimate activation, literally because it does nothing, like at all. Look at this. Let me see if I can go over to this dummy and use serious mode. It does nothing. It does no damage. It doesn't stun them. Yes, fast. It's the fastest ultimate activation in the game. But the second somebody sees you do this, they're running the opposite direction. They're not going to fight you. The only time someone is going to fight you is if they're new to the game. Like, bro, every factor that we're using to judge, these ultimate activations, Saitama does not check any of them other than the speed. That's it. He does nothing else. It is so trash. Like, I straight up can't think of a pro, like, at all. Like, I can't think of one other than the fact that it's fast. Yeah, so there's really nothing to say about this one. So yeah, Saitama's ultimate activation is the worst. Like, y'all can't even argue with me in the comments for that. This is garbage. So with that being said, we're gonna have to move on to our second worst ultimate activation, which I'm gonna say is Genos. And the reason I'm putting Genos at this spot in the list, I think it does a bit of damage, like a very little chunk of damage. Let me see if I can actually test this. This guy's at 16 health. Okay, it's 13 and we use ultimate. Oh, wait a minute. How much damage was that? Wait, we need to try that again. Hold up. Remove awakening. No awakening. Let me just respawn. Oh, oops. I did not mean to spawn a wall. Okay, so, all right, so if I activate Awakening right here, how much damage does this do? That is that, what, 16% damage? Now, usually, when you are close to Genos, which is very rare, it takes a little bit of time for it to actually hit you, and I think you have enough reaction time to back handspring out of it whenever he does it, but it doesn't really stun you at all. It rolls you back, but that's literally it. Plus, whenever the activation does happen, you are able to get away from him for a little bit, but he has this, so I don't really know if you can run far. And I think they did that on purpose, because if they made it to where you get stunned after you use your ultimate with Genos, like, bro, it's wraps, it's GG's, it's game over. But if I use ult and I'm right here, like, I think it does the same amount of damage. I don't know if it's different. Let's actually test that. Yeah, so when they're farther away, it does a little wait, no, it doesn't do less damage. It's still 16%. Okay, and that's still, yeah, that's still a very good amount of damage. The only reason I'm putting this low on the list though is just because the stun, you can't really do anything after it. Like, it's not a lot you can do. So with that being said, now we're gonna have to get into our third worst ultimate activation ability, and I'm gonna say it's Metal Bats. Now let me actually click the character first, but the reason I'm putting him at this part in the list, he does have damage, he has stun, and it's not slow at all. It does not take too long. It doesn't have some crazy animation. Yes, bro gives himself a hemorrhage, concussion, and he gets ligmatized, but if you use it and you're near some people, it will, and I mean it will stun in a very nice radius, and it does more damage than Genos's. That's 18%. Now I don't know if it's different whether you're far away. I do know that if you use your ultimate and you're a little bit far away, they will roll instead of actually being stunned. But if you use ultimate after like a down slam, then you can definitely get some good damage in there, and then you can do combos with like Savage Tornado. Like, it really doesn't even matter, and they stay on the ground for a good while, but not as long as the next person on this list. And for their ultimate activation, I'm gonna have to say, if I can reset my character, thank you game, I'm gonna have to say that it's Blade Master. And the reason I'm putting Blade Master at this part of the list, the speed of which he uses his ultimate is so slow. I can run so far away from this and not get hit. But if you do get hit by it, it does so much damage, and you're on the ground for a good 3 seconds. Like, you're on the ground for so long. I think that was like 30-something%, like 36, no, 35 has to be. I don't know, my math not good, people. This ultimate activation is very good in terms of damage, and you might be able to use it as a combo if you down slam somebody and then use ultimate. But again, it takes so long for it to activate that I genuinely believe you'll be able to run away before it actually hits you. There have been multiple times where I've seen people use ultimate and they've been able to kill like 2 or 3 people in a row just because they were low, and they decided to run into an oncoming fight and just spam ultimate. So it's very versatile in that aspect. See, if I use my ultimate about right here, I don't know if it'll actually hit him, but if it does, that means it has a very far Like, bro, that is wild. Are you serious? And that does so much damage. That is so crazy. The only reason I'm putting it a little bit lower is because how long it takes to activate. If you're oblivious to this guy using ultimate, then yes, you will get mollywopped thoroughly. But if you know that he's using ultimate, dude, you could walk away. You don't even have to dash, do no back handsprings, nothing. You could just walk away and be perfectly fine, even if the range is very far, because that's how long it takes. So the stun is good. The stun is excellent. The damage, excellent. But the speed kind of brings everything down to about B to C tier. But with that being said, now we're gonna have to move on to our second best ultimate activation ability, which I'm gonna say Garo. And the reason I'm putting Garo's as the second best is because you actually have some combo potential with it, believe it or not. If you are fighting somebody and they don't have ragdoll cancel and they're low and you have ultimate, you can do a down slam and immediately use your ultimate and they're not gonna be able to run away. It literally does not matter what character they are, they can't run away. And they were at 86% health, now they're at 56. So it does 30% damage, a little bit less than Blade Master, but you are able to combo with this ultimate if the person doesn't have ragdoll cancel. And if they do, you can still immediately use Crush Rock to pursue them after using the ultimate. And when I'm talking about combo potential, it's not really a combo, but you can follow up the ultimate activation with an ability. So let's say I activate my ultimate, I'm gonna have to switch characters every single time. But let's say I use ultimate near this guy, he doesn't have ragdoll cancel, he didn't run away, he's just right here. As soon as he hits the ground, I can just walk over and use Final Hunt. Bro's dead. Plus, the area of effect for Garo's ultimate is so large, and you can actually kill a bunch of people with it if you're in the right setting and if you're around a bunch of people, right? I will go to a group of people that have about like 50, 40, 30% health and just activate ult right in the center of them. Then, if I don't kill anyone, I can still use Final Hunt. The area effect of Final Hunt will affect everyone around them, and I can use Crush Rock to pursue the people right after the ultimate to kill them. So, this activation is very versatile in terms of that, but when you do use it, it does take a little bit to activate. You are able to run away from it if you do have ragdoll cancel and if you're fast enough to notice that it's happening, and if you have your dashes, because sometimes you'll just get unlucky and you won't have your dashes and you'll still get caught up in it. But there is an ultimate activation which has movement, it has stun, it has damage, and it has very high combo potential. And I think you guys know what I'm referring to. The best ultimate activation in the whole history of the strongest Battlegrounds. Yes, I just put reverb on my voice. I don't care. I'm gonna say it is Speed of Sound Sonics. Now, this is very close between Garo's and Sonic's. And the reason I'm putting this one above is because of the movement and because of the damage. Now, I'm not sure if the damage is higher than Garo. We can actually test this right now. But it's literally just the fact that you can move around with it. Like, you can pursue someone during your ultimate activation and possibly kill them during it. Like, okay, this guy's at 38% health. Let's say I use ultimate. If I can actually find the button, I always lose it. Give Awakening, and we use it. So keep in mind, he's at 38%. If I go around him, this dude went from 38 to 34%. And bro, we haven't even started the ultimate for real. And now I did say it stuns him. It kind of stuns him. He's not on the ground completely, but right afterwards, bro, right afterwards, either that or straight on. And then right after freaking twin fold, whatever, straight carnage strike rush, they're dead. Now, if I use ultimate again, I can show you guys what I'm talking about in terms of doing even more damage. Can this get off my screen, please? Help. Okay, there we go. When I was talking about Garo's ultimate, I was talking about how you can basically use ultimate after the down slam, and if they don't have ragdoll cancel, you can basically just disintegrate them when you slam down, and does even more damage because you're doing an M1 combo and then a down slam and your ultimate. Now, the thing with Sonic's, you can do the exact same thing, but if someone has ragdoll cancel, you can still pursue them. But if I use 3 M1s, down slam, and I immediately use ultimate, so I already did about 14%, right? If you're skilled enough to hit all of those little slashes, bro, almost half of his health gone. And if I hit all those slashes, it would have been even more. Let me see if I can actually do this so I can show you guys how OP this whole ultimate is. The whole ultimate just needs to go. It's too overpowered. Like, bro, you straight up cannot deal with Speed of Sound Sonic. The only way you can beat Speed of Sound Sonic is if there's an incinerate here, incinerate here, incinerate here, and incinerate there. That is the only way to beat Sonic effectively when he has ultimate. Just blast him on all angles. Pause. He's at 57. Let's see if we can kill him if we do 3 M1s, a down slam, and then we use ultimate. So 1, 2, 3, down slam, and then we use ultimate. Then I just turn around, and how much? Okay, that's very close though. 8%. I don't know if I hit every single one, but that is so much damage. Like, that is so much damage. Plus, you can hit multiple people with it. There can be people fighting, and you just use your ultimate and start slashing through both of them. Get them a haircut, bald them, take their mustache, take the beard, take everything. Literally disintegrate. Like, I don't think I could describe to you guys how good this ultimate really is, or at least the activation. Like, bro, it's so fun to use, and you get ultimate mad fast. So you can just do this like twice twice every 4 minutes in the game. Twice every like 4 or 5 minutes. That's not even about the ultimate activations. I'm kind of just rambling. Garo's my main, but I don't even know why I'm Garo. You get what I'm saying. But with that being said, that is every character's ultimate activation. Appreciate you guys for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe, and I still am doing the giveaways in the comment section. Actually, you know what? Right now, let's see who wins the giveaway right now. I'm gonna go to a video and we're gonna see who's winning right now. We're just gonna go to a random comment. Somebody's about to get a crazy shout out. Somebody's about to have a heart attack. If I go to the old Spooch channel, I'm gonna close my eyes. I'm gonna just scroll and stop at a random point. Oh, it's Super Horror Bro 3. Fun fact, you can get your ult bar up by using Thunder Kick and missing on purpose in a large group. 3 to 5 players can give you 30% of your ult. That's a crazy fun fact. We're gonna get your little gamer tag right here. Go back to Battlegrounds, and what you want VIP, I got you. Copy paste. Yes, sir. That's my man Silver right there. Appreciate you for watching the videos. Appreciate the support. There you go with your VIP. So again, this is real. If y'all really want early access, VIP, cosmetics, kill sounds, a back massage, I don't care. Subscribe and let me know that you subscribe, and I will make sure that you get whatever you want, except actually a back rub. That's disgusting. Today we're going to be going through every character's first ultimate ability, worst to best. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, we are still doing the early access giveaway, and now instead of Blade Master, we have Tatsumaki, aka Wild Psychic. So if you want to get your hands on early access, make sure to subscribe and let me know down in the comments that you subscribed, as well as with your Roblox username, and you may have a chance of winning early access or VIP or some random cosmetics or more emotes. Literally does not matter. Plus, be on the lookout because I will be making a Discord server soon to help with the giveaways, as well as giving you guys opportunities to participate in challenges in future videos. Now back to the video, and for the first and worst ability, I'm gonna have to say Savage Tornado. And the reason I'm putting this at the very worst and bottom of the list, first we got to go over its pros. Now the pros with it is that it has a lot of movement, especially when you're trying to chase someone down, but it does not do a lot of damage at all. And if someone has ragdoll cancel after you use Savage Tornado, most times someone's gonna use Brutal Beatdown, and if you have ragdoll cancel, you are able to dodge out of it pretty easily. If you don't, you're just gonna have to pray that someone misses and they just go in a random direction and don't hit you. But for this ability, I'm gonna have to say it is not that good, and it's only really good if you have no ragdoll cancel and you can't really do anything about it, because all the other abilities do a bunch, and I mean a bunch of damage, and there's really no combo potential at all other than that right there. But again, you need to have no ragdoll cancel for it to work. So with that being said, oh, I just left the game. So with that being said, we're gonna have to move on to our second worst ability, which I'm gonna say is Sunset. And the reason I'm putting this at the second worst part of the list is because it's very hard to hit it if you're far away, because it's a very close ranged ability, and you have to make sure that you either catch someone in an M1 combo or you just catch them off guard and you're just trying to interrupt the fight. So if this guy's over here, they can see what I'm doing and they can immediately just start running away. But again, if you hit them with the M1 combos, then you are able to hit it, and it does a bunch of damage, and you can do a bunch of stuff from there. So it's not completely at the bottom of the list, but there are a bunch of abilities way better than this one, but it does have area of effect damage. So if people are around you, they can get hit by the flames as well, but most times people are going to see it because the effect is so large and it's so easy to escape it. So in my opinion, I don't think this one is that good. But with that being said, now we're going to have to move on to our third worst ability, and you guys might be surprised by this one. I'm going to have to say Water Stream Rock Smashing. And the reason I'm putting this at this point in the list is because one simple thing: you do have to be close range for it to work, but when you are close ranged, it excels in every other attribute. It does a bunch of damage, you have a bunch of combo potential. If someone does ragdoll cancel, you can immediately use Crush Rock and then use Rock Splitting Fist, or you can use Final Hunt. So there is a bunch of combo potential behind it, and it doesn't just leave you out in the open with your pants down. Of course, if you do miss, someone is able to punish you, but this is why I say you have to be very close ranged, and you can get punished by it. There are some abilities on the list where you straight up just can't get punished even if you do miss, but this one's one of those abilities where you kind of just gotta make sure that you hit it. So with that being said, now we're gonna have to move on to our third best ability, which, why do I keep leaving it again? And I'm gonna have Thunder Kick on this spot of the list. And the reason I'm putting Thunder Kick here is because, unlike Water Stream Rock Smashing, if you miss, you still are able to do damage. If someone doesn't hit you while you're in that charge up position, you do 20% damage, which is a bunch. But if someone does hit you, you still do damage with them. Okay, if I spawn this here and I use Thunder Kick and I miss, if he can hit me, wow, how did you miss? Okay, let's try that again. Okay, Thunder Kick. Bro, I don't know if I can actually demonstrate this with a dummy. Anytime someone hits you while you're in that ability, yeah, you do interrupt the damage, but it still does damage. So you're still going to get hit. And if you're too low, then you're gonna get killed, unfortunately. Plus, if you do land it, you just straight up teleport in a different location and you're immediately able to use Flame Wave Cannon after. If you are a Genos player, then you are able to do this accurately, but I don't play Genos and I suck, so I can't do it as well. But this is Trash Can. This is the player that I hate, so I don't care. But yeah, this ability even has combo potential. Like I said, with Flame Wave Cannon, you can use this, you can use Speed Blitz Drop Kick after Flame Wave Cannon, and Incinerate is kind of just an ability that you just use randomly. You can't really have a bunch of combo potential behind it, you just have it. So those are some things to think about whenever you want to use Thunder Kick. But with that being said, now we're gonna have to move on to our second best ultimate ability, which I'm gonna say is Twin Blade Rush. And now, the reason I'm putting Twin Blade Rush as the second best ability, there are so many things you can do with it in terms of range, in terms of combos. You have iframes, which means no one can hit you while you're using it. And as soon as the combo ends, if you spam side dash and you teleport dash, no one can hit you. I don't know if a lot of people know about that, but you can't really get hit when you're doing something like this. And right after, if you do a little dash and you use Carnage, you can also have combo potential with that. And then you can go into a fourfold strike if you're close enough, and you can use straight on too. Straight on is just crazy. I can't really demonstrate it because once you have no cooldowns, it kind of just makes you dash multiple times. But Twin Blade Rush also has, again, a bunch of range. So these people over here, I can just go over and still do the ultimate ability with it. It can be used long range, it can be used short range, it literally does not matter. Now, if you miss, you gotta make sure you miss while they're far away because someone is able to punish you. But if I miss this person and I end over here, they can't really do nothing about it. Plus, if someone were to use counter, you break through that. If someone were to block, you break through that. The only thing that kind of messes it up is death counter, which is going to be the best ability on the list. And I don't even think I need to explain why death counter is the best ability on the list. It's literally an insta-kill. Plus, there's no Q for when you use it other than your health and the fact that you move a little bit faster. But if you just use it randomly and you're not moving, then bro. And if you're at full health, it is extremely easy to catch somebody off guard with it. And after you use it, you're back to full health. So it really does not compete with any other abilities. It's just number one automatically. Plus, this can hit multiple people. It can possibly kill multiple people. And yeah, death counter is the best, hands down. I don't even have to explain myself. There are very little cons. The only cons I would have to say is that you can tell that it's gonna happen if you're good enough at the game and you play it enough. That's not even a con. That's just an indication. Today, we're gonna be going through every character's second ultimate ability, worst to best. And for the worst ultimate ability, I'm gonna have to say Speed Blitz Drop Kick. And I know what y'all Genos mains are thinking. First, it has a bunch of speed. You can barely dodge it. It does a bunch of damage if you do hit it. What is this guy at right now? 51%. Let me hit Speed Blitz Drop Kick. Let me see how much damage it does. Did bro die? Okay, 2%. So bro almost died from that. So when you hit it, it does a lot of damage. But I think the reason it does a lot of damage is because it's hard to hit. It is very hard to hit. Now, if you were to use it in front of a group of people, or you just had some OP level prediction skills, then yes, you might be able to hit it a lot more. I don't know what substance you Genos main snort on a Friday morning, but you know, it might be different. But personally, I've been able to predict when someone's able to use Speed Blitz Drop Kick. Now, I haven't been able to see it and then dodge. I've been able to do it sometimes, but if someone is far away or someone's attacking me and I just know they have ult, sometimes I will literally just walk backwards. Like, let's say someone used ults right here. Let's say this is Genos and they use ultimate and I'm just walking backwards. I'll just wait for the slight animation that they get and I'll just move to the side. Wait a minute, y'all. After further thought processing and after further review, this might have to, for the first time in Spoochy history, we might have to move the ability on the list. Now hear me out, right? Because I'm pretty sure Speed Blitz Drop Kick can be used a second time, right? Can it be? Hold on, we're gonna test this. No cooldown, no dash cooldown. Let's give myself ultimate, spawn a regular dummy, and then we're gonna give ourselves ultimate. We're gonna use it real quick. So let's see if you can use it a second time, because I'm pretty sure you can, and if you can, I'm moving this up in the list. Speed Blitz Drop Kick, go. Okay, can I use it again? What makes it to where I can use it again? Is it a kill? I think you have to kill someone in order to do it. Hold on, let me turn finishers only on. Finishers only. And then we use Speed Blitz Drop Kick. If we have it. Technical difficulties, people. Use this. Speed Blitz Drop Kick. If it kills them, does that mean we get it back? We do. Okay, for the first time in Spoochie history, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving an ability on the list. Now, the worst one is gonna be Brutal Beatdown, and Speed Blitz Dropkick is a little bit better simply because of that. Now, the reason I'm putting Brutal Beatdown at the worst spot on the list is because it is dodgeable if you have Ragdoll Cancel. But the pros of it is that you can hit a bunch of people with it. So if I spawn a bunch of dummies, that might be a little bit too much, but y'all get the gist. Let me turn finishers only off. Let me use my ultimate. I'm about to get so much hate in the comments. I deeply apologize, people. Just after demonstrating this, my thoughts have changed on this freaking ability. Okay, so I don't have my shift lock on. Please turn on. No, I can't even. Okay, I can't do it. All right, jump this way. Okay, Brutal Beatdown, right? You can hit multiple people with it. Oh my God, that is so satisfying. Dude, that is so satisfying. Holy, look at that. So you can do how much damage with that? Well, 44% on multiple people at the exact same time. Now, you can't really do that with Speed Blitz Dropkick, but when you actually land, you still are able to hit somebody with it. And if you manage to kill them, you can use it again, and the area effects can hit somebody again. So that is why I'm moving it in the list, even though Brutal Beatdown is a good ability. But also what makes it bad is that if you notice, whenever someone uses Brutal Beatdown, they have this animation where they will stick the bat to the side. Most of Metal Bat's abilities include iframes, but at the initial animation, you can get hit at this point, right? But the second he kicks the back up, he's in iframes. But if you're close enough, you can actually interrupt him with this animation, or you can interrupt his ability, because most people, they'll use Savage Tornado, and then right after they use it, they'll use Brutal Beatdown. But if you all have balls, if you have balls of steel, you can immediately Ragdoll Cancel out of Savage Tornado and fall onto the guy trying to use Brutal Beatdown, and you can smack in the back of the head, make sure his jaw goes backwards, and cancel his ultimate. You know, it's a real tough thing to switch out. But with that being said, now we're gonna have to move on to our third worst ability. And oh my God, I'm still shook by the fact that I had to change a spot in the list. But now for the third worst ability, I'm gonna have to say Solar Cleave. And now I want you to think about this as kind of a downgraded Speed Blitz Dropkick in terms of speed, but what makes up for the lack of speed is the hitbox. Let's say I'm aiming for this guy, right? This guy all the way over there, and I go for it. And I'm still able to hit the dude on the left. The hitbox is crazy. Let's say I'm aiming right between these two dummies. I hit both of them, and I even hit the person in front, right? And the range is fantastic, right? Because if I'm at the leaderboard right here, and I used Solar Cleave, bruv, over halfway across the grid, literally over halfway. Absolute bollocks. But you get the point. Solar Cleave is almost a 100% certainty of hitting somebody just because of how bad the hitbox is. The only way you can miss is if you just started the game and you like fat finger Q on accident, or you fat finger number 2, or somebody backhand springs, like luckily enough for you. Like, it's very, very rare for you to miss it, pretty much. That's also why I don't like his ultimate, especially when I'm getting like me getting hit by it. When people start attacking me with Atomic Samurai's ultimate, I start to take a number 2 in my pants. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's scary because most of the time, Solar Cleave is just a surefire way of smacking somebody directly in the teeth with your sword. But with that being said, now we're gonna have to move on to our third best ultimate ability. Now, you guys might be a little bit surprised by this one, but I'm gonna have to say Straight On. Now, I want you to think of this one again as Speed Blitz Dropkick, but it has more movement. It might even have more distance just because you can move in a straight line the most, right? But you can move left and right. You have a second burst of speed. You can hit multiple people, and it does a bunch of damage. Now, I'd actually have to wait for this to finish because when I have all cooldowns off, I can't really demonstrate it. But as you can see, it does a bunch of damage, and you can hit multiple people, right? And it has some type of combo potential because you can use pretty much any other ability after Straight On. You can use Carnage, you can use 4-fold Flash Strike, which is what I like to use, or you can use Twin Blade Rush. Really doesn't matter. Right here, I'll just use 4-fold Flash Strike, and oh my goodness, beautiful. Now, what are the cons with it? And there might not be a lot of them. Might not be a lot of cons. Now, you might be able to get caught by it. Like if someone were to use Scatter, or if someone were to use an ability to where it takes up a lot of space. If you really want to stop a Speed of Sound Sonic using Straight On, just follow him with Scatter. Like that's honestly the best thing you can do. Or if you're Goku, you can predict where he's gonna go and front dash him. I've actually been able to do it a couple of times. Yes, I'm secretly Goku. Sorry, you can obviously see it. I have the yellow skin. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, Straight On is straight up, no pun intended, the third best ultimate ability we can have in the strongest Battlegrounds. Now, on to our second best ultimate ability, and even though I main Garo, I'm gonna have to say this is the second best. Now, the reason I'm putting this at the second best is because, wait a minute, I might have another change, because I realized Final Hunt can cancel so many other ultimates. Now, I'm gonna just spoiler alert right here. Spoiler alert, the number 1 is Table Flip. I think y'all can already guess what that is. But the reason I'm putting Table Flip there is because you can hit a whole bunch of people people, right? You get a whole bunch of range of people. If you hit somebody specifically, they might not be able to get out of it. But if someone were to notice that you were using table flip, you might be able to actually evade. But with Final Hunt, oh my God, you can do so many things with it, and I might have a second change again. I think I'm bipolar. Okay, so actually to demonstrate this, I might have to get somebody in the lobby. So give me 1 second. We're gonna clear the dummies here, right? We're gonna go onto this trash can, and we're gonna summon somebody you guys have never even seen before. So let me stand here, and 3, 2, 1, poof. I'm gonna use death counter, and wait, I don't have death counter. You're gonna use death counter, and then I'm gonna see what I can do. All right, tell me when you got it active.
It's active.
So you can actually evade death counter when you use Final Hunt. Now, I'm gonna have you also switch to, what's his name? Blade Master. Okay, so there's an ability called Solar Cleave, and I just want you to use it like whenever. All
right, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so I was able to evade that. All right, so I want you to run at me with Savage Tornado. Okay, and then use Brutal Beatdown. Okay, then yeah. What's that one where you like send me to Pluto? Yeah, that one's crazy too. Final Hunt might be the best one, bro. It might beat Table Flip. I'm not gonna lie. You got anything you want to say to the people?
Nah.
Today, we're gonna be going through every character's third ultimate ability, worst to best. And for the worst ultimate ability, I'm gonna have to say Carnage. Let's go over his pros before we even start to slander me in the comments, because I know somebody will. Now, the pros of using Carnage: you are able to hit multiple people if you're in a straight line. It does a pretty decent amount of damage. So this guy's at 53. They go from 53 to 35. So I'm pretty sure that's like 18. I think it's 18%. That actually is not good at all. This guy's at 22. How much does it go down to? From 22, 5. Yeah, so that's like 17. Yeah, that's not good at all, actually. You are able to do combos with it, believe it or not. If I spawn a dummy and you use Carnage, you can actually have somebody fall right into a Twin Blade Rush if they don't have Ragdoll Cancel. So you can do a bunch of damage off of that, which is very good. It's also easy to dodge. If I use Carnage, or if someone were to use Carnage on me, all I would have to do is pretty much just dash to the right or use backhand string. Backhand string? Spoochie, are you serious? Plus, if I use Carnage right next to somebody, not only does it miss them, but I'm also prone to getting punched in the back of the head. And I'm pretty sure you guys don't want that. You know, some of y'all are freaks, but I don't think most people wants to get hit in the back of the head by a Garo with dirty knuckles. With that being said though, now we're gonna have to move on to our second worst ultimate ability. And for this part of the list, I'm gonna have to say Genos's Flame Wave Cannon. And the reason I'm putting this on the part of this list is because Flame Wave Cannon is worse in terms of aim. It is very hard to hit Flame Wave Cannon. You're very subjective to just sitting there idle if you use it and you miss. Believe it or not, if you use Flame Wave Cannon and someone's behind you with like consecutive punches or scatter, you can't really do anything. You can get interrupted like right before the laser comes off. Same with Carnage though. So, you know, when it comes to interruptions, they are pretty similar. But I will say the damage is pretty good. I'm pretty sure it takes away like 35% of your health. Yeah, 65, that's literally about like 35%, which is very high. Plus, I don't think it has any type of range deduction. So if you're super far away, I'm pretty sure it's still gonna do the same amount of damage. So that guy was at like 40 something and now he's at 11. Yeah, it literally doesn't matter. So it is very good in terms of damage and it stuns the player very well. But the aim is bad. You're able to get interrupted if you're not fast enough, and you're subjected to being hit by Final Hunt as well. It's very easy for someone to death counter you, omnidirectional you, do whatever. You're literally just sitting there. You can't do anything. So with that being said, now we're gonna have to move on to our third worst ability. And for this one, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna have to say Strength Difference for Metal Bat. And the reason I'm putting this at this spot in the list is because it's also very hard to hit. A lot of these abilities are extremely hard to hit, but you'll notice that as we move on, I'll start getting into abilities that are extremely easy to hit. And one specifically is so easy, you might even accidentally hit somebody else with it. And it's very common. Now let's go over the pros of Strength Difference. That's not Strength Difference. Now I gotta wait for this whole thing to end. All right, so Strength Difference does do a bunch of damage. Do not get me wrong. That dude was at 65 and he goes all the way. Is he dead? Bro died. No, he did not die. He did. Brother, 0. He's dead. 65 plus. Hold on, we gotta try that again. Hold up. That was so much damage. So what makes up for the fact that it's extremely hard to hit is the damage and the stun when some people are around you. So bro went from 100. Yeah, it does 65% damage. That is diabolical. But I know what you Metal Bat mains are thinking. Right after Brutal Beatdown or Savage Tornado, you can use Strength Difference. Yes, you are right, but there are points where someone will land in a very weird location and you can't use Strength Difference accurately, even if they don't have Ragdoll Cancel. But if they do, it's very easy to dodge it. And if you decide to use Strength Difference while they're still standing up, it is very hard to hit it. Like, bro, I've never seen a dude that can accurately and consistently land their Strength Difference. A good pro about it is that the second you use it, you are in iframes. Like, you straight up can't get hit while you're using it. Like brutal beatdown right here, you can get hit when you're using savage tornado. Right before you start going in a circle and start doing the tornado move, you are able to be hit. But with strength difference, you straight up are just invincible the second you activate it. So there's that. But yeah, and I think the reason they have it so high in damage is because it's hard to hit, because it's a weird startup time. It's very easy to predict when they're gonna hit you and where the player is gonna land. So like if some metal bat's coming towards you, you can literally just sit still, and right before they're about to hit you, you just back handspring or you just dash. It is stupidly easy to dodge it. Now even here, bro, look at that. That literally didn't even hit him. Crazy. So like you gotta make sure you're extremely accurate even when they're not moving. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, now we're gonna have to move on to our third best ultimate ability. And for this one, I'm gonna have to say Garros's what the heck is Garros Rock Splitting Fist. And the reason I'm putting this at this part in the list is because you can only use it short ranged. You can only use it when the person's close by. We're gonna talk about its cons first, and then I'll talk about its pros. So the cons, yes, you have to be very close in order to use it. You are prone to being interrupted during the startup animation. I'm pretty sure someone can mess you up as well if they're behind you, so you're not completely in iframes. But the pros is that it does a bunch of damage. If two people are extremely close by, you are able to hit them as well. So this guy's at 62%. If we use it, bro goes from 62 all the way down to 24, and I'm pretty sure that's like 38% damage, which is very high. Not as much as Metal Bat, but you can also hit it a lot easier because you can string it with combos, right? So if I use 2 M1s or 3 M1s, 4 M1s down slam, and then I use Rock Splitting Fist, it doesn't matter. I can just use it whenever I feel like it. It would do so much damage. 92% all the way down to what is that? 44. Literally so much damage. It's like 48%. Bollocks, mate. Crazy. Dude goes from 30 to dead. If someone is 30% health, they're dead. Now, it's not as much as Final Hunt. Oh my God. Final Hunt does so much damage. It is wild. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, this one does so much damage. And the reason I think it does, if we really talk about the lore of the strongest battlegrounds, when you use this ability, bro, they're winded. Their whole diaphragm exploded. Their whole nervous system shut down. Their liver gone. With that being said, now we're gonna have to move on to our second best ultimate ability, and I'm gonna say that this is a Blade Master's Sunrise. And the reason, hold on, I gotta burp 1 second. All right, now the reason I'm putting Sunrise at this spot in the list, dude, let me look at the pros. Look at this. You see that guy over here? Look at this. Look at how far it goes. Now, I wasn't able to hit him, but look at how far the distance is. That guy over here can use Sunrise all the way over here and still hit him. The distance is crazy. Plus, the damage is crazy. Bro, I don't even know how much health he had, but he died. If this dude's at 65 all the way over here, let's see how much damage it does. Goes all the way from 65 to, what is that? 18. What is that, like 48? No, 47% damage. Crazy, bro. Now, what are its cons? I'm not gonna lie, even though it has a lot of distance, it is kind of hard to hit, believe it or not. I don't really get hit by this a lot just because you can kind of dodge out of it. Like if someone's coming towards you with it, you can pretty much do a back handspring. But if I'm being perfectly honest, there aren't really a lot of cons for it at all. Is just an ability that's better than it. So with that being said, now we're gonna have to move on to our best ultimate ability. You guys know what it is. We can say it all at the same time. 1, 2, 3, Serious Punch. I really hope you said it at the same time. Now, I don't really know how to describe why this is the best one, simply because you can't really say anything bad about it other than the fact that you might be able to move away from it. And even if you do, so bro, you could use this in a corner and literally hit everybody. The range doesn't even matter. With Table Flip, yeah, there's a certain radius, there's a certain distance to where you get hit. Of course, with Serious Punch, it's the same thing. But if you're far enough, you can hit literally almost everybody. If you see a group of people over there at that tree, you can use Serious Punch right here and probably still hit them. The range is wild. Plus, if someone is close enough, it'll also do a bunch, and I mean a bunch of damage. And I'm pretty sure it insta-kills them if they get hit by the gust of wind and they can't escape it. So yeah, Serious Punch solos. Now, an ability that I think they should add in the game. I feel like it's the most fair and most balanced Saitama ability that anyone can have. I like to call it consecutive Serious Punches. This will be so balanced. I feel like if everyone had this ability, the game would be so much better. No one would have to worry about spammers. No one would have to worry about any pros, cons, or anything. This would be the best ability in the game, bro. Look at this. Look how balanced that looks. And here, bro, the music. Oh my God, the music. Today, we're gonna be going through every character's fourth ability, worst to best. And guys, I know it's been a minute. I haven't uploaded in like 3 weeks, but rest assured, I am alive and I will be uploading some more content. But for the people that are new, we are still doing early access giveaways. And if you want a chance to win some early access, be sure to like and subscribe and let me know down in the comments whether or not you are subscribed. And with that being said, we're gonna have to get into our worst ultimate ability, which I'm gonna say is Atomic Slash. And the thing with Atomic Slash, it has very high damage. And fun fact about Atomic Slash, it used to have a little bit lower damage, like it didn't do as much before, but since it's ridiculously hard to hit and you just sit there, you kind of just have to wait for somebody to walk into, and you know what I mean, like you can't move with it at all, and it takes so long to start up to the point where you barely ever hit it, which is why they increased the damage. I'm not gonna lie, that's all it has going for it, just damage. Plus, I don't really think you can get hit during this, and for some reason when you activate it, it doesn't stun anybody. Like it doesn't keep them in place when you use it, so they can literally just walk away. It's stupid. It's so stupid. They need to buff it. Like the only time I've been hit by it is if I got ragdolled by someone else into it, because even if you get ragdolled and someone uses the ability on you, you can still run away. If you hit somebody on the ground and immediately use that ability, they can just back handspring away. Increasing the damage on an ability that's already hard to hit does not make it better. That ability cannot be incorporated into any combo because there are a bunch of abilities that people have that you can really do some crazy combos with, even though it's an ultimate. Think about Speed of Sound Sonic. You can literally use every single one in unison and just do a bunch of damage, and that ultimate is just OP. And think about Garo's Crushed Rock. You can immediately combo that into something else. So with that being said, now we're gonna have to get into our second worst ability. I almost left the game. Which is an ability that you cannot really combo with, and the ability in question is Death Blow. Now the reason Death Blow is at this spot in the list is simply because you can't really do a lot with it in terms of combos. Now of course it does a bunch of damage, it's a death blow, but unlike Death Counter, you actually have to put yourself in a position where someone has to come hit you. With Saitama, there's no indication, there's no noise, there's no nothing. If you walk towards somebody with Death Counter on and they haven't previously fought you, they're most likely gonna think that nothing is happening. But with Death Blow, you can kind of really predict it. If an ulting metal bat just runs up to you and hits Death Blow, just don't touch him. Now, when it works, you do get an insta-kill, which is perfect. But the only times you're really able to land this is on people that are kind of just, how do I put this? Stupid. And if I'm being honest, it's been a long time since I've actually been hit by a Death Blow. You really just gotta play a bunch of mind games in order to really hit it. Now, one thing that is actually kind of crazy about it is that you can fake out people with Death Blow. If I use Savage Tornado and then I use Death Blow, right? You can actually bait somebody with it. I can use Brutal Beatdown, Death Blow. And the reason this is actually a thing is because of course you're stationary using Death Blow, and it actually prompts somebody to hit you, because once you use one of these abilities, there's a short period of time where you're able to be hit. So you have to play a bit of mind games and fake somebody out in order to have this work. But some people just aren't gonna touch you, so the fake out doesn't really work. But I don't think you can actually do it with strength difference. Let's see, because with strength difference, you're moving when you're using it. Yeah, you can't really use Death Blow with it. So using Savage Tornado and then Death Blow, or Brutal Beatdown and Death Blow, kind of makes it a bit better, just because it increases the likelihood of you landing the attack. But with that being said, now we're gonna have to move on to our third worst ability, which I'm gonna say is Omnidirectional Punch. Now I know what you're thinking, why the heck are you putting Omnidirectional Punch better than Death Blow? With Death Blow, you can fake people out, you can play mind games with them and make sure that they actually get hit by it. But with Omnidirectional, once you use it, somebody can just dodge it, right? Well, here's the thing about Omnidirectional Punch. One thing about it is that its hitbox is so crazy. I've been put in so many different situations where I've used Omnidirectional Punch, or I've had it used on me and the person either wasn't looking in my direction or I was just far away and I just get magnetized towards it. So that's one thing about Omnidirectional Punch. Another thing about Omnidirectional Punch is that it's a 100% success rate if you manage to get rid of their ragdoll cancel and you down slam them, or uppercut, doesn't really matter, right? After you get rid of the ragdoll cancel and you do a down slam, you are always going to hit Omnidirectional Punch. With Death Blow, it's always going to be some sort of probability because it's based off, oh, what's up, bro? Hello, welcome to the video. But it's always based off whether or not they attack you. Both Omnidirectional, it's kind of user specific. Ah, subscribe to Spoochie. Hey, do I got a dap me up emote? Hold on. Dap me up. Dap me up. Yes, sir. Now, as I was saying, what was I saying actually? Yeah, Omnidirectional Punch is very user specific, but Death Blow, you kind of have to lean towards chance and how stupid the player is. Now, you can also just walk walk up to a group of people and use omnidirectional and hit somebody with it. Now, is it practical for actually like getting a bunch of kills and getting a streak and, you know, just having a bunch of skill behind it? Not really. It's kind of just something to do to make somebody mad. Like a lot of the abilities on this list, you can get multiple kills with it and you can do some type of string. Now, Atomic Slash, not really, but I didn't mention for Atomic Slash that it has some type of area of effect damage that you can incorporate with other people if they're close to it. So if someone manages to get hit in the crossfire of Atomic Slash, they're also going to get dealt a bunch of damage. And with Death Blow, if someone doesn't manage to hit you, Metal Bat will slam his bat on the ground and still do area of effect damage to everyone else. Omnidirectional, none of that really happens. It has some type of area of effect if you miss, but it's not that much. Plus, after you actually land it, I'm pretty sure everyone just flies up, but right here, oh, that still hit him. See, bro, the range is crazy though. I'm not gonna lie. But I'm not gonna lie, I also hate just waiting. This is why I don't like using omnidirectional. Let me try this again. If I use this, right, I use omnidirectional. He's all the way over there. If he still gets hit by this, I quit the game. Okay, so yeah, it does a good amount of damage. 30% on a missed omnidirectional punch, and that's gonna hit a lot of other people. That's definitely a reason to put that a bit higher in the list. But with that being said, almost left the game again. We're gonna have to get on to our third best ultimate ability, and I'm gonna say that it is Crushed Rock for Garo. Now, the reason I'm putting Crushed Rock at this spot in the list is mainly because of the speed and the distance. Now, a lot of Garo's abilities are close ranged. You got Water Stream Rock Smashing, you got Final Hunt, and you got Rock Splitting Fist. And the thing with all of these abilities, as well as the other abilities when he's not using ultimate, is that you have to be close by in order for it to work. But Crushed Rock adds its own little spin to where you can actually pursue the player. Plus, it hits a bunch of people if they're close by, so it has area of effect damage. If I put some type of dummy around here and I use Crushed Rock, all these people get hit by the area of effect. And then you can use Final Hunt on somebody after they fall if they don't have Ragdoll Cancel, or you can immediately use, I forgot what the ability was called. If I use Crushed Rock, I can immediately use Water Stream Rock Smashing, right? Or I can use Rock Splitting Fist. Now, they just recently did a buff to Garo to where there isn't any lag whenever he uses Crushed Rock. There used to be a point where they would have to wait for him to kind of settle out of his animation. And I think that was mainly because this used to be a finisher move. But now that it's not, you know, you can actually do some things with it. I only really have to talk about the damage. Like, of course, it does a really decent amount, like 47, that went all the way to 21. It's like 26%. It's not 30%. It's not nothing crazy, but you can still do a lot with it. You can pursue enemies. You can get a lot of distance, like I said previously. And when you hit somebody with it, you're also invincible. And like I said before, the area of effect damage is so great that you can do a bunch of combos after that. So Crushed Rock is at a very solid spot in the list. Now, the one con that I have with Crushed Rock is that you can still be interrupted by it if someone hits you. Right before you start to dash towards somebody, you can immediately get that interrupted if someone hits you, which sucks. But if you actually land the attack and use the suplex, then yeah, you're pretty much invincible. But overall, it's a pretty solid ability. But ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, now we're gonna have to move on to our second best ultimate ability, and I'm gonna say that it's Garo's Incinerate. We have to go over a bunch of pros for this freaking ability because it is crazy. The first is that the second, and I mean the millinano picosecond you use this ability, you're invincible. Watch, hold on, Incinerate, boom. Literally, it's just, you can't do anything about it. You can just use it whenever you want. If someone's right beside you, they can immediately die as well. Someone can be at 100%, right? But if you use Incinerate near some type of wall, let me zoom out so this music isn't here. If I use Incinerate near a tree or a wall or a bench or anything that would cause the player to not go far away from the gusts of wind and smoke and everything, you can kill them literally from 100% health, or you can just do a lot more damage because Incinerate is strictly based off of the distance you are from the player when it comes to the damage. So if someone's far away, it's not gonna do a lot, but if someone is very close, it's gonna do a bunch of damage. And of course, you can hit a bunch of people. So you got Bob, Billy, Joe, Jasmine, Goku, Vegeta. You got all these random people. And if I use my ultimate, if I can actually find the activate ultimate, because I always manage to lose it. Let me get a sip of water while this happened. Okay. Anyways, as I was saying, if I use Incinerate right here, right, which is a very realistic situation, you know, everybody's just fighting and you use it, right? Everybody that was 20% health, they're dead. Anybody that was around like 50 or lower, or 50 or above, you know, they're very low, right? You might not be able to get every kill, but right after Incinerate, you can use Speed Blitz Dropkick, and the area of effect on that will pretty much just kill everybody. Now, I don't know why no particles just went out, because, and that dude was standing up. Did y'all see that? But overall, Incinerate, when you combine the damage, the invincibility, ability, the area of effect, and just the amount of time that it takes to finish. Like, I be getting so mad when someone uses Incinerate and I'm like 40% health and it just slowly brings me down all the way to 0. And there are some people, well, they'll join a game, 2 or 3 Garos, and the one will use Incinerate, then the next will use Incinerate, the next will use Incinerate. So the entire server is just getting burnt. It sucks, but the ability doesn't suck, which is great. But with that being said, now we're gonna have to move on to our best ultimate ability. And I'm gonna say that this one is 4-fold Flash Strike. And the reason I'm putting this above Incinerate is because it pretty much has all of the perks of Incinerate, but although the range is kind of reduced, what makes up for it is the insane amount of damage. So you can see we have all these people like 80, 90, 100, and it goes all the way down to 40, 50. Look, everybody's like 40, 50, and I use it again. Bro, look how low they are. It does so much damage. I can immediately just do 4 M1s and then immediately use 4 float. That's not floor full flow. But as I was saying, this guy has 77 health over here. If I use 4 M1s and I immediately use 4-fold Flash Strike, bro went from 63 health, or not even 63, he went from 77 health to 28. That's like what, 49? So bro went from 100 to 51. So 49% damage just off of that one simple combo. Now you can use Twin Blade Rush and immediately use 4-fold Flash Strike. You can use Straight On, which also has a bunch of crazy damage. And if you use Straight On very close by, you can go to the person and use a 3M1 attack and then immediately use 4-fold Flash Strike afterwards. Or you can even reverse that, and after using 4-fold Flash Strike at a certain distance, bro, can y'all say that 5 times fast? 4-fold Flash Strike, 4-fold Jesus. Anyways, if I use 4-fold Flash Strike right here, I can slide back and still do whatever I need to do, right? So right here, okay, I can't do that because I'm on infinite cooldowns mode, but if I did it regularly, bro would have went from 100 all the way to 21 immediately. Then I'd immediately use Straight On. I'm stuttering a lot today, but it's cool. I gotta get back into the swing of things for the Spoochie channel. But as you can see, bro got mollywopped with 3 abilities. We didn't even use Carnage. Right now, Carnage, I think you can mix 4-fold Flash Strike into it, definitely, and I'm pretty sure it does, yeah, decent amount of damage. I think it was 2% more than the other one. So yeah, you can do a lot with it. There's a lot of combo potential, especially if someone doesn't have Ragdoll Cancel. Unlike Death Blow or Atomic Slash or any other of those random abilities, kind of really doesn't matter if someone doesn't have Ragdoll Cancel, because with Straight On and Twin Blade Rush, you can kind of just bypass that if you have good sensitivity and you're kind of fast with reaction time. But ladies and gentlemen, that is every character's 4th ultimate ability. My bad for being on a 3-week hiatus. I've been doing some other things, but thanks for watching. Subscribe and click on this video right here.